So the race is getting a little bit crazy. Maxime Bernier wants to send in the army to police the border. Kevin O'Leary wants to coerce the provinces to do what he wants them to do. Other candidates are finding out that their children were breastfed against their will. Is this last-minute attention-seeking just as the membership cut-off comes along?
Well, I think in a crowded field, people have been trying to gain attention one way or another. I say if something crazy happens or if controversy happens, it's going to be covered. My campaign has been trying to not get coverage that way. But I think, you know, in the final stretch, there's certainly a lot of pressure. Militarizing the border, the world's longest undefended border that I think all Canadians are very proud of, I don't think is the answer here. But I'll challenge some of the colleagues on policy, but not on personality.
The conundrum for me and others, I think, is that you're on a roll, you have some momentum, you're getting endorsements from some very prominent Conservative MPs, but at the same time, when these public polls come out, Main Street has you in 8th place at somewhere around 4%. There does seem to be a disconnect there. I mean, do the polls matter? Do the endorsements matter?
Well, Diefenbaker had a great line about polls. Polls are for dogs. He said, listen, in this race, the polls don't matter because this isn't actually a popularity contest by whose name is the best known because they've been on TV or what have you. This is a 338 riding ground game race with 14 candidates and a ranked ballot. So if you're strong in Churchill, Manitoba, or in rural Nova Scotia, that's not going to show up on a Main Street poll, or if they're calling people to say, did you vote Conservative in the last election, or they're trying to determine who are party members. This is about getting 100 points, or as many of them, in each of those individual ridings. It's a ground game, and this is where having the current MP or former MP is huge, because a lot of people are saying, I like 2 or 3 people. Who should I put first? Who should I put second? They'll often ask the MP for direction. So we're very happy to have the most support from coast to coast, and even provincially with a third of the provincial caucus here in Ontario, with the current Nova Scotia PC leader. All of them know I have the experience and the style to help us win.
I mean, the people I talk to suggest it's not impossible for Erin O'Toole to win, but they do look at these polls, and I think it's tough to dismiss something that is 7,000 Conservative members and say it's completely irrelevant. I mean, it does seem to me that you are trailing well behind Kevin O'Leary, Maxime Bernier, Kelly Leitch, and even Andrew Scheer.
I love your endorsement. It's not impossible for O'Toole to win.
That was not my word, but that's coming from some very senior Conservatives who are looking dispassionately at this race.
We think we're exactly where we want to be, and we haven't gotten to this point by controversy, by division, or by gimmicks. We have been running the best ground game of anyone. Since I entered the race in late October, we've gone to more ridings and we've talked to more Conservative members, paid-up members, than any other candidate, bar none. I've been visiting, we've been doing telephone town halls across the country. We've spoken to thousands of people. MPs have seen that, and they've seen the response to my message in their riding. And in many cases, they had been looking at 1 or 2 candidates, and they're now in the final stretch making their decision. And each day, literally each day in the last week or so, we've picked up more and more support, not just with MPs. We've also had some organizers from other organizations come to our team. We don't make hay of it because the colleagues in the race are my friends, but we're on track to win.